Hey, how's it going? Hey, this is going to be a kind of a different video. I want to talk a little bit about Rarebit and talk about these nightmares I had last night after I ate Rarebit right before bed. Now, we'll talk a little bit about what is Rarebit and what are the dreams of the Rarebit fiends. Rarebit, I know about this from a very famous cartoonist and animator named Winsor McCay, who was born like 1869, died in 1934 of a cerebral embolism in New York City. He had a comic strip called Dreams of the Rarebit, or the Rarebit Fiend. I don't know, there were different titles, I think. I don't know, I've read a few of them. And I don't really understand any of them, and sometimes I might think one is interesting or funny, but I don't quite get it. But the idea is that if you ate this food, now this was like a food that was popular, I would guess, in the 1800s or turn of the century during his lifetime, as a bedtime snack. So here's what I did last night, and I wasn't really thinking about it until I had made it already and I started to eat it. So I use, this is my favorite bread. It's San Luis Obispo sourdough. So you take a piece of sourdough. This is all Rarebit is sourdough or bread of some sort with cheese on top, melted at a high temperature. That is Rarebit. It's cheese toast, basically. That's it. And so the story goes that you're not supposed to eat this cheese toast that you put like under, like I have the oven broiling right now. I'm not going to eat this because I got to tell you guys about this whole story about what happened. I ate this stuff, and as I'm eating the bread with the cheese, it was delicious. And I'm thinking, boy, I hope I don't have a nightmare because of this, because that's kind of what happens in the idea of the stories of those Winsor McCay comics, is that if you eat this, then you are going to have a nightmare. So I had 3 really vivid, strange, unusual nightmares. Now, it's been a long time since I've had a nightmare or a bad dream. Like, I can't even remember the last one. But this morning I woke up with that horrible sense of what was happening in the dream was real. You know that sense? Like what just happened is actually carrying over to waking life. And it happened 3 times. And they were unusual, right? So at one time after I went back to sleep, this is like maybe like, because you know how it happens, you get woken up and then go back to sleep, and so I do that. So this is like early morning, sun is coming up, it's like 6:30 or something, and I had this dream. I could have swore that my phone rang, and I picked it up, and I woke up from my sleep, and I looked at my phone, and it said Department of the Treasury. And I'm like, Department of Treasury? And I missed the call, so I set it back down. So then when I woke up, I immediately checked my phone because I could have swore that there was going to be a missed call from the Department of Treasury. But there was no call from the Department of Treasury. The worst one that happened is there's like this dream that occurred, and it felt like it was you know how it feels like it's super long, but you can only remember certain portions. Well, I can remember that something happened that was a conflict that happened in this dream, and that to resolve this conflict I lost my temper, but I can't remember what I did or what the circumstances were. But the clear part of the dream that affected me, you know, that I felt that was still happening when I woke up, was that I was here in my apartment, but I had recently returned to my apartment, like from this conflict that I don't really remember. And I can hear something out on my fire escape. I look out the window onto the fire escape, and I see someone in full military fatigues and camouflage. I come to the other window, closer, so I'm right at the fire escape so I can look directly at him. And it's my old platoon sergeant, John Heath. And it's John is standing there, and he's looking at me, and he looks right through my slider. He's standing on my fire escape, full battle dress uniform with like tiger stripe on, and it's John. And he goes like this. He goes like that. And so I open the door, right? And he's like, what are you doing, man? Oh, here's what it felt. So here's what it was like. It was like that scene. It was like that scene at the beginning of Rambo 2 or at the end of Rambo 1, where Troutman is on the outside of the chain link fence and Rambo is on the inside of the chain link fence, right? So, but I'm like, John. I'm like, what? So this is John. He's like one of my best, maybe the best platoon sergeant I ever had. Probably, I don't know. But he's here to help me and everything. He's like, dude. And I'm all, what? Right? Like that. I go, what? And he goes, man, and he tells me like these 2 charges that are like serious charges. He says, man, something like, you got to come out, or you've got these charges, and he tells me 2 things, right? And I say, it was self-defense, like that, and you know, because the charges were something like aggravated assault and kidnapping, and so I'm like, it was self-defense, right? Like that. And he says, it's just not looking that way, you know? And so in my mind, I'm like, in that moment in the nightmare, I'm completely noodling through that it's fucking over. I'm going to prison. I'm going to prison. I'm going to prison. So then when I wake up, I'm like, am I still going to prison? That's how bad this freaking Rarebit is. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's ready. So my question is, did Winsor McKay purposefully eat this stuff? Like, it's ready. See it? So my question is this like dosing yourself with like, is melted cheese on bread before bed equivalent to dosing yourself with some sort of a psychedelic or something? Are you inducing these vivid, horrible nightmares to happen if you eat this? Is that what Winsor McKay was doing? I don't know, but I really don't want to try. Really, it's like I had a bad trip on cheese and bread last night. So that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day or evening. I'll talk to you next time.